Remember the crowd that would ask, hey, does One Piece ever get good? I was one of those people. Then Arlong Park happened, and everything changed. While I'm being honest, I thought Nami sucked for most of the first 30-some episodes of One Piece. She was a selfish nag who only looked out for what was in her own best interest, and then betrayed the Straw Hats when it was convenient for her. Seeing Nami's upbringing, her past, and the events that led to her becoming who she is really changed my outlook on her and the series as a whole. As a child, she made an agreement with Arlong. For 100 million berries, he would let her village go and give Nami her freedom. So the reason she's been a thief all this time was to protect her village and pay that debt. Not only that, she's kept it from the village the entire time. She's had to carry that burden alone. Marines arrive in front of her and say they are here to confiscate the money she's saved. Rightfully, she's furious. They would do nothing to protect the village, but they'll go out of their way to steal money from a thief. They start to go through the tangerine fields of Bellemere, which causes Nami to lose it, and she starts attacking them. As she's doing that, we learned that Genzo knew about Nami's plan all along. Everyone in the village did, but they all agreed to never tell her, to not pressure her. The head Marine, lets the exact amount of Nami's savings slip, and she comes to the realization that Arlong has betrayed her. The money is found, all 100 million berries. Nami tries to fight them off, but gets stopped by Nojiko, who gets shot. She's brought back to town, where we see Luffy all happy and chilling. Total contrast to everything we've seen so far. He's completely unaware of what's going on. He tries to talk to Nami, but she flips out on him and runs to Arlong Park. There, she confronts Arlong. He's adamant he didn't break the promise, which is technically right, but only because he exploited a pretty big loophole. He mocks her and won't let her break her end of the deal. He then threatens to kill everyone in the village if she decides to run away. He says she's way too much of an asset to let go. Once she charts every ocean, she can leave, which should only take a few decades. Nami returns to the village and sees the villagers are taking up arms to fight Arlong. He betrayed Nami, and that was the last straw for them. Nami puts on her best act and says, "It's fine, we'll start over. It'll be easier now because I've done it before. They don't have to do this." And Genzo just hugs her. He tells her she's done enough and she fought well. It's time to set herself free. She says, "You'll die." And they respond, "We know." But they'd rather die fighting than keep living in subjugation, especially after Arlong showed he has no intentions of playing fair. Then they leave. Nami can't control her emotions anymore and drops to her knees. And you can't help but feel for her. She's dedicated her whole life to this. She held in this secret all this time, letting that burden grow larger and larger with no one to share it with. And it was all for nothing. She sees that disgusting Arlong emblem on her arm and scratches at it like she's trying to rip it off. Then she grabs a knife and stabs at it again and again, all while screaming Arlong's name in agony. As she's about to do it again, Luffy grabs her arm and stops her, and she berates him. "You don't know what's happening." "I don't." "I told you to leave." "You did. So leave. Go." Then she stops for a moment. She can't push people away anymore. Look what doing everything alone got her this time. She turns to him, tears in her eyes, and says, "Please help me." He takes off his hat, the hat that he doesn't allow anyone to touch, and puts it on her head. He calmly says, "Of course." He takes a step forward and screams, "He's gonna pay." And this is my favorite moment in One Piece. Nami went from a pest to someone you really want to help, and to see her get helped. Finally, it hits right in the feels, man. Luffy starts heading for Arlong Park, and the rest of the crew is there waiting. They saw the whole thing. Luffy says, "Let's go," and they all say "right" in unison. It's so sick. At Arlong Park, there's two dudes who won't let the villagers in. That's when Luffy and the Straw Hats show up, break through the gates. Nami's anguish, her self-harm, and her plea for help are gut-wrenching. Luffy's immediate support, and then the symbolic gesture of placing his hat on her head, illustrating that unbreakable bond the Straw Hats have, and that they consider her one of them, so good.